We give y'all 1804 and the Hidden Colors, and we try to uplift the history there, and then y'all send us Candace Owens and Myron Gaines, and we're gonna have a problem with that. You know?
So because you disagree with Myron Gaines and Candace Owens, you're now throwing the whole Caribbean and Africa under the
Ain't
bus.
about disagreeing with them. It's about them representing a lot of people from that culture. Because a lot of
Uh, uh,
people from Africa and the Caribbean, they agree with the Myron Gaines and they agree with the Candace Owens. That
who from the Caribbean do Muta Baruka agree with Candace Owens? Do PLO Lumumba agree with Candace Owens? Who from the continent of Africa that's a leader or the Caribbean that agree with Candace Owens or Myron Gaines?
there's a lot of people who have that Myron Gaines.
So name some powerful voices from the Caribbean or Africa that agree with these people.
Um,
Like I just gave some examples: Muta Baruka from Jamaica, PLO Lumumba from Kenya. Um, I can name a few brothers. So
and you some,
I'm trying to understand who agree with
um,
these right wing talking
I think
points.
that not just it ain't just right wing, it's anti FBA. That's what that shit is.
Who's preaching this anti-black America? I'm Jamaican and I'm quite in tune with the culture. I don't hear nobody speaking ill of black
Oh,
Americans. In fact, they uplift black
oh,
American
stop,
culture.
stop, Stu. Don't do that. Don't do that because yeah, in y'all culture, y'all sit up here, stay away from them and stay away from that and all. Yeah, y'all do little shit.
But brother, I came up here when I was 6 years old. My family member never told me to stay away from black America.
Don't, because we've all heard that narrative before. We've all heard it. We've all heard it. We've all heard it. And you want to know who else sounds like Candace Owens and who acts like Candace Owens? An undermining bed wench who had power, Kamala Harris. You understand? She's a Caribbean bed wench who was in power and sat up and told us what she ain't gonna do for black folks, but roll the red carpet out for immigrants. Yeah, that's treasonous. When you send people like that over, and then we elevate them, and then they tell us to kiss their damn asses, it's up all the way.
So so now Kamala Harris speak for the entire Jamaica
Oh, oh,
and Myra Gaines speak for Africa. Are you serious, sir? I respect you a little bit more than that. You're kind of
come
intelligent.
on now. Hey, they speak for enough. They speak for enough. I've had a lot of East Africans call up here who agree with Myron Gaines. You understand? There's a lot of them who do, and that's the problem. When we start talking about reparations, all of these so-called allies who are Caribbean, they start sounding like Candace Owens. Westmore, ain't gonna hook up no reparations. Kamala Harris ain't for no reparations. West, Byron Donalds, he got on the Breakfast Club. He's Caribbean. We don't need no reparations. So yeah, y'all sound like Candace goddamn Owens when y'all get a little piece of power. That's the problem, right?
So, but Westmore shot down a study for reparations. He didn't shoot down a reparation bill. I don't think
And
Westmore had the power to shoot down a bipartisan
yeah,
bill.
he shot the whole shit down. He shot it down, and he's not for reparations for us, but he rolls out the red carpet giving our tax dollars to immigrants. That's a problem. So yeah, y'all can sit up and play that game. We ain't playing the game no more. We're letting folks know we don't want some people. If you ain't from the lineage, we don't really want you representing us.
But at least Kamala Harris support reparations. Does Trump
Um,
support reparations for Black
Harris,
Americans?
she was in all. She was the vice president for what 4 years. What reparations did she kick in?
Well, she supported it on her campaign. She said she support reparations for Black Americans in
She didn't
America.
get it then.
I mean, she didn't become
Don't matter.
president.
She was the vice president and she made sure immigrants got shit. So how come we didn't get the reparations when she was supporting it?
I mean, you're comparing a vice president to the actual president. That don't make no
Don't
sense. But you promoted Trump, and does Trump support
don't start
reparations?
that. Let's get Dan. Let's get Dan. Don't do the whole does Trump do that? Well, let's not do that deflection. And I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Trump, by the way. Dan, let's get Daniel in here. Brother Dan.
Well, what's good, Flex? How you
I'm
doing,
good,
man?
Dan. How are you, sir?
I find it interesting that nobody has ever heard anybody say, um, stay away from black
I know.
Americans when people come up here and they say it all the time. That's strange to me.
Mm, mm.
And then the more crazy part about this Byron Donalds. I don't know who this other person is he's talking about, but Byron Donalds is an elected official. He got elected down there in Florida. He's from New York City. When an elected official who cosplays Black Americans goes on a national platform and says he don't believe it because his mom wouldn't get it, that actively shows that they're not for us. And I don't give a damn what the people out of power are saying. It's what the people with the power are saying. And all we're saying is, you know what? You're right. This is our fault. Because the second you guys do anything noteworthy, you guys delineate. And that's fine. That's cool. You guys have every right to be. Now we're saying we're going to put ourselves first because everybody seems to be putting themselves first. We have people come up here all the time and says, yeah, my parents did tell me to stay away from the Black Americans, right? A lot of these people come over here on these religious visas and they talk to these Catholic people. And these Catholic people will rename them, give them a white name like Abraham, Joseph, or some shit like that. And you know what they tell them after that? Stay away from the black folks. The black people in America are lazy. And they take that, they give them a little pat on the head, and the first thing they do is tell us that we're troublemakers and they're going to focus on doing the right thing to
So
make the
so a
white man happy.
so a couple elected officials speak for entire nation now.
Yes,
Are you serious?
yes, I'm dead ass serious.
Yeah, that's kind of why they're elected. They're to speak for the
The the
collective.
So
the
Byron
literal,
Donald speak for the Cubans and the
yep,
Jamaicans because he's
yep.
half Cuban and Jamaican.
Listen, check this out, right? You do realize that the president of Jamaica, well, Prime Minister of Jamaica, went on national TV, well, international TV, right, and made the statement that if you guys come back to Jamaica with the crime and stuff like that, it's not the same place it was 10 years ago. He said they're either gonna meet their maker or meet a judge. So that shows his view of his people who were in America, right? Because you know what? They all collectively believe that being Americanized is a bad thing. And they think that they spend time over here, they're criminals. So that's how your people view us. From the
No,
prime minister
maybe
himself.
he just saying that the people that's being deported are criminals,
No, no,
and
no, no, no,
maybe they
no.
are
People,
criminals. That
the
be
people are
that.
being deported, right? Are
I
people
mean,
who
I never
don't.
heard of no model citizen being deported. So maybe the
Yeah,
people that's
they
being
do it all the
deported,
time. They do it all the time. If the thing about it
maybe
is, if
if
they're
you're
illegal.
deported, you're probably a criminal.
See,
So
this flies in the face of, I don't know, people just want a better life because they actually came over here and they've been over here for 10 years. They had every opportunity to become American citizens, and if they haven't done the right thing, either A, they didn't want to be, and a lot of them don't actually go through the process because they want to remain, keep some type of connection to their homeland.
Daniel, is that
And
logical
that's
to
the reason
think?
why they do it. You
Daniel,
said
is
what
that
now?
logical to think the people that's being deported are criminals? So maybe he's saying the criminals coming back to his country shouldn't bring their criminality back to his country. Is that logical to think,
Are
or is
you
that just
trying to
far
say?
fetched?
Wait, just to be clear, because you doing this fallacy, right? Are you trying to say that people who are being deported are all criminals?
I would think a vast majority of them, the consensus of them, are criminals if
Hmm.
they're being deported.
Well, here's the thing, right? And this is where you make the mistake at. A lot of them don't necessarily commit crime. What happens is a lot of them come over here illegally and they try to stay. That's the crime. But just because they try to stay illegally doesn't mean they're actually breaking their houses, robbing people, and shooting at people. A lot of them aren't doing that. They're just kind of working under the table and stealing labor, right? I mean, that's it's one of those things you can kind of see why they would do it, but doesn't necessarily mean they're bad people, right? So he's talking about criminals who harm society with violence and stuff like that. That's two very different things. A
So where are
squatter
you
is
getting
a
the assumption that he's saying that Black
listen.
American culture is criminality? Like, well, where
Where
how you
if
wing that
okay, check this
together?
out, right? I got you. I got you. Listen. Walk with me now. If he's telling people that this isn't the same Jamaica as you left 10 years ago and 20 years ago, if you come back and you bring this crime with you, right? You're going to meet a judge or meet your maker. What is he saying? What does that speak on the place you've been?
I would think logically, if you're being deported,
No,
then
no, no,
you
no, no,
you
no, no, no,
probably
no, no.
committed a crime to be deported out
Okay,
of a
you know what?
country.
You know what? So you okay? My God, you one of those straw man people. Got you, right? Is Donald Trump only committing? I mean, deporting people who committed violent crimes, or is it deporting everybody who's not supposed to be here?
I mean, if you're not supposed to be here, you're committing a crime.
No,
If you
no, no,
came
no.
here illegally,
I'm talking about violent crimes. Is that a violent crime?
No,
Okay, so why would you assume a person who's being deported has committed violent crimes?
I never said a violent crime. I said a crime.
No, no, no. I'm giving you an example because he's talking about violent crimes. You're talking about crimes in general. Those are two different things. Stealing a watch doesn't mean you murder somebody. That's why you get different sentences for different crimes. You get that, right?
Yeah.
So if a person steals a watch, is it safe to assume that they're a murderer?
No, but that's still a
Okay,
violent crime for
if
robbery.
somebody, okay, if somebody robs a bank, right? Is it safe to assume they're arsonists?
No.
There's different categories. What I'm trying to get you to understand. So if he's deporting people who are not supposed to be here, that's a whole separate category from robbing and stealing. Now, for you to assume that your
So
own
connect this
people,
to Black American
I
culture.
got you, I got you. Listen, listen. For you to assume that your own people who are being deported back because they committed the crime of staying in the United States when they weren't supposed to be there. If you to assume and have to give them a pep talk about breaking in and killing and stealing all this other shit, that says what you think about the place they went to.
Yo, y'all hear this Jamaican dude trying to act clueless? He trying to lie and say they don't got issues with black Americans. But most of them be skin bleaching and saying they don't have no culture. Like that fat dude, Buster Rhymes. I think I still remember the clip where he was talking crazy.
Not only as tropical people, but even here in the United States, where the multicultural, because the U.S. ain't got no culture. They shit is all our shit. A bunch of our shit is what makes the U.S. whatever you want to call it. We still don't know what that culture is for the U.S.
Mr. Break Your Neck, aka Find Your Neck, taking Ozempic now. And y'all should have seen the stuff they was saying during the Olympics. But yeah, that's all I really got to say about this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment down below. I'm going to try to start posting 2 videos a day since I've been gone for like 3 months. So I might start posting the Tariq videos a little bit earlier. But make sure to follow me on Twitter. I'm going to be more active on there again.